Your overall plan right now has 5 principles. Let's go through point by point. Point number 1, clear responsibility and accountability for energy decisions. What do you mean by that?
Well, there's not any department in Washington where you go for energy decision. I mean, all of them. You go to the Commerce Department if you want to export oil. You go to the State Department if you want to build the Keystone Pipeline. You go to the Department of Energy if you're going to export natural gas. You know, there should be a central place where energy, but Washington has never, they get hot and cold on energy. If there's not anything happening, then you know, don't pay attention to it. If we had $5 gasoline today, oh my God, I mean, we'd be running around. Something has to be done immediately and everything else.
So you're saying it's kind of disorganized given the fact that you have to run to different places for different decision makers. It's inefficient.
Kind of disorganized, yes. Underline kinda.
Well, Pickens principle number 2, inject real fuel competition into the transportation mix. What do you mean by that?
Well, the only way you're going to lower the price of gasoline is introduce another fuel.
Nat gas.
Nat gas goes in, and that immediately causes competition, which does change the thing.
Okay, and then number 3, meeting our own energy demands before we worry about other countries. Why are we exporting oil when we can't even meet our own needs?
Well, that goes back to 73. We came to the conclusion that we were going to be dependent on the Mideast for crude oil forever after. And so the refineries started to move in the direction of processing that kind of crude. We thought that. Then we've come back now, and the oil we have in the United States is light sweet crude. Mm-hmm. And the refineries are now processing heavy, and that's why we process crude coming from the Mideast, from Venezuela, Nigeria, and that crude comes in, and then we're exporting it. Now we're exporting about 4 million barrels of refined products every day out of the United States. We don't have an energy plan, is what it is. The refineries need to move back to process light sweet. Don't export the crude, use it here, but with no plan, you know, you just move on as it's put together, you know, piece by piece.
Principle number 4, pursue a North American energy alliance. What do you mean by that?
North America, take Canada, Mexico, the United States. We are wonderful markets for their oil. Mm-hmm. Okay, and believe it or not, we're exporting now. By the end of the year, we'll be up, I think, to about 2 billion cubic feet of gas to Mexico. So we're shipping gas, but we get some gas from Canada too. So it's a natural to work together, and you put together a North American Energy Alliance, and you then don't need OPEC.
And finally, your other principle, energy is not a free market.
The world produces 92 million barrels of oil a day. Mm-hmm. OPEC produces 30 million. Somebody says, well, how do they set the price for oil? They set it because the 30 million they have is a cartel, and they operate as a unit. The rest of the 62 million that's produced in the world, but as you split it up, the fact that 30 million will stick together, and they will adjust supply to fit price, is so they want the price to be $100 a barrel or more. Well, they'll usually it's the Saudis will cut back a little bit and adjust so that you balance the market. And so they do set the price for oil. They set the price, which causes gasoline prices to be set too, because you bring that crude into the United States, like I said, and it's processed. Well, it's processed on the price that OPEC sets.